Good afternoon. Once again, this is Gabriel Porras with FCW News, and we have another interview about the Nevada earthquakes that had happened overnight. A lot of you were saying that you had felt it in the valley, which is why we are going to be covering it so heavily and giving you updates on it. We did earlier, if you're on the YouTube page, we did get an interview with a representative from the United States Geological Survey. Now we actually got an interview with the director of the Nevada Seismological uh, Laboratory, and he, being the director, he was able to give us some more insight as to what happened, where it came from, and if it could inspire other faults. Go ahead and listen to the interview now. Do you know what fault line at this point quake was from?
In that area, southwest of Hawthorne, and also over by Bodie, that old ghost town, it's pretty beat up, which means there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of faults. And so, in some ways, it's not surprising that we broke up into a number of smaller pieces, although each individual piece was essentially magnitude 5.7 or thereabout.
Do you know of any damage that happened in either Nevada or California?
I've heard some anecdotal estimates, or not estimates, but some damage here in Reno, and then also in Bodie. And but again, luckily, it was 20 miles from any significant population center, and sometimes 20 miles is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, that's what we know. If more cracked buildings are reported, it wouldn't surprise anybody.
And I just want to go really quickly back to question number one about the fault line. So, are you saying that you think it might have came from multiple fault lines, or do you think that?
When you get into these fault zones that are just beat up, and there's all these different strands, and they're all interconnected in complex ways, then it's not like a simple there's a San Andreas or Genoa fault or Hayward fault. Some of these areas are just really beat up, and so it's probably what leads to the swarming behavior, quite honestly, having these kind of earthquakes of similar size. And so, but not on a very deep marked fault, no.
Mm-hmm. Can you shed any light on how you think it was able to be felt so far as to places like in the Bay Area, San Francisco area of California?
Yeah, it's been well known for a long time that earthquakes in the Walker Lane or east of the Sierra basically essentially have very good transmission qualities. And so big earthquakes in Reno in 1914 damaged water conveyance in Sacramento, believe it or not. And the 1872 earthquake in Owens Valley did a lot of damage in the Great Valley. So we already know that from film reports that we have a big earthquake in western Nevada, eastern California. Y'all are going to feel it in California more than you'd think.
Is this somewhat unprecedented, especially given the area that this had happened in?
Now, we had a swarm set about 5 years ago where we had 10 earthquakes between 4 and 4.4. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is another magnitude up and then some. So, again, it straddles somewhere between the swarms we've been having and these big swarms that we had back in 1954 and earlier. So, it's kind of that middling area, but it's definitely a significant event or a series of events.
Is there any concern over the volcanoes in the area?
No.
And do you think, and I spoke to another person with USGS earlier, and she said that there would be no way to predict this, but do you think that this could be a precursor?
We'll know, talk to me in a month or a year, and we'll know whether it's a precursor. But like I said, it wouldn't surprise, and the more probable event is we're done with the 3 biggest earthquakes. But you never know, and we would have also said that after the first, second, and third earthquake. So, again, it's happened in the past, but it's not the most likelihood event.
Mm-hmm. And also, do you think that by having these smaller earthquakes, it helps take the pressure off of some of the fault lines?
No, they're not big enough.
Okay.
So, in the end of the day, even if you relieve the pressure, if it was a 6.5, that's going to load another fault nearby. So, no, there's no sense that you're out of the woods. We can still have large earthquakes in that region.
And is there anything else that you think that the public should know, or anything else you want to say about the earthquake cluster?
I just think it's a great opportunity for the public to go to shakeout.org/Nevada or California, learn to drop cover and hold on, and prepare your space, have a family plan, and have 3 to 5 days of food.
And in the interview, you heard him point to the statistic that this type of cluster did happen just a few years ago in Nevada, and he also said that there was some minimal, or to his knowledge, minimal damage in Reno and some other places in Nevada. Thank you for watching this special broadcast from SCW News.